I always knew that I wanted to be a teacher. I didn't know that I would end up being an administrator, certainly not a principal. Farthest thought from my mind as I began my teaching career, but it's worked out well and it's been an exciting journey. We know more now than we ever knew when I started teaching about how we provide instruction, about how students learn, about how the brain works. I think those are the positive things. We know so much more. And so we're able to help kids more, kids who struggle, or we're able to extend learning more through technology, through all the wonderful resources we have. You know, you always find students who you just love to work with, but you also find students every year that need your help. And there's a little guy who he just had trouble. He had trouble making friends. He had trouble getting his work done. He really just had trouble getting along with other people. And his teacher and I talked about that this year. We were really concerned because he's really quiet, but he might hurt someone on the playground. We'd talk about it, and he just really thought maybe they didn't like him, or etc. So he's a really little person, and yet he felt like he wasn't connected. Wasn't connected to other kids. He wasn't connected to our school. What we know from students is they're connected when they feel worthwhile. So he does a contribution, and his contribution is delivering the mail. And now, of course, it is also feeding our 14 ducklings. So every day we'd meet and we'd deliver the mail together. Well, it took a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, and suddenly he said, "I really don't need you anymore." He was delivering the mail independently. What we've seen is he was invited into classrooms, he was welcomed, he was thanked, he started looking people in the eye, he started smiling back at them, greeting them. It just really was his own very individualized class in social skills. He learned that there are other people here that care about him. As a matter of fact, the other day he said he's kind of even picked out his teacher for next year, and he thought he'd let me know about that. So we're excited. The other part of that is we're not seeing the behavior problems on the playground, and we're seeing him do more work in the classroom. So we know he just needed to feel valued. He needed to feel loved so that he could say, "I'm a part of Cavett School, and I can be a learner too." It's pretty exciting. One of the things that we talk about as we use the BIST model is not to give students what they deserve, to give students what they need.
I've also been told about the super reader.
Oh, my super reader. She's great. You know, not everybody learns to read easily. And and sometimes, you know, I told you I was a speech and language pathologist, and sometimes kids have speech and language delays, which cause them to find reading even more difficult. They don't hear the sounds the way some other kids hear them. And this super reader, she has some speech and language delays, which don't allow her to hear those sounds and discriminate them as clearly. She also has some other things in her life, so that that are roadblocks for her. So at school, she reads to people at school. I happened to be walking by her and a paraeducator reading one day, and I just was so impressed with this little girl struggles with every sentence, and yet she was reading with excitement. She was reading with enthusiasm. She kind of cracked the code, at least for this book. She knew what she was talking about. And I thought, oh, wow, that is so important. So I walked up to her and I said, "You're such a good reader. You're such a super reader. Would you come read to me? Now, maybe not today, but whenever you have time, will you come in and read to me?" Sure. You know, that was pretty exciting. You get to come read to the principal. She was there the next day and has been there numerous times since, because now she sees herself as a reader. Every day when I see her in the cafeteria, we do a little fist bump, and I say, "Hello, super reader," and she goes, "Hello, Mrs. Evasco." So she's practicing a little speech. I'm working on just getting to know students better, and her self-confidence continues to grow because it is in a name. Calling her super reader really just helps her to say, I am good at this and I'm going to get better. So it's pretty fun. Lots of celebrations will occur that day, and we'll celebrate our fifth graders with a special assembly. And then we do a parade with the fifth graders throughout the building, all around the school. And I get to go with those fifth graders, and I think I'll take all the rest of Cavett's retirees with me this year because I think that's kind of an exciting final walk for all.